Okay, counting down from 10,
10,
9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. You're on.
Full. There you go. Second by 2 shot. Tyler and Ryan.
Hello and welcome to Fresno State Focus. I'm Tyler Van Dyke.
And I'm Ryan Jones.
Pediatric experts recommend all children over the age of 8 should be regularly screened for anxiety. The recommendation from the U.S. Preventative Task Force comes as children grapple with pandemic-related mental health issues. Will Matthews has more.
Pediatricians have long recognized the need for screening for anxiety. They've seen an uptick in cases during the pandemic. Michelle Parnalla is a probation officer of Alameda County and works closely with children experiencing anxiety and other mental health issues.
Well, I definitely support screening because we see it a lot in my field, in particular with truancy cases. A lot of them stop going to school because they suffer severe anxiety, and then do a diagnosis. There's some substance abuse and depression.
Behaviors like truancy, she says, are often rooted in these issues, and that the current judicial system is lacking in its ability to address them. Not all parents, however, are seeing the need to closely screen children's behavior. Brittany Polk, a mother of 2 boys between the ages of 8 and 12, believes that much of what is seen as anxious behavior is just normal behavior for kids.
I feel like they're a little bit more anxious at school just because, they have a teacher, they're around a lot of students, they're being told certain or different things to do by certain points in times, so I feel like they're how they are at school. It's not always the same as how they are at home.
She acknowledges that while eventually children may need screening, elementary school might be too early of a start as they may grow out of certain behaviors. Adrian Robbins of Kingsburg has a slightly different experience. As a father of 3 children with autism, he sees firsthand how anxiety manifests in his little ones.
Because they have autism and they're not completely able to vocalize themselves. A lot of times they don't know how to express it.
With the pandemic slowly moving behind us, it remains to be seen what lasting effects it will have on America's youth. Will Matthews, Fresno State Focus.
According to a study by the Journal of American Medical Association, at least 5.5 million children were diagnosed with anxiety in 2020. If you or someone you know is in crisis, contact the Suicide Prevention Lifeline at 1-800-273-8255.
Fantastic. Great job.
Testicular Cancer Awareness Month is observed every April to encourage men between the ages of 20 to 35 to get tested. The month also doubles as a time to reflect on advancements in cancer research. According to the American Cancer Society, testicular cancer remains one of the most treatable cancer types, with over 95% surviving the past 5 years. Last year, over 9,000 men in the United States were diagnosed with the disease. Information on how to conduct a self-exam can be found at nfcr.org.
Cancer is one of the top 3 killers in America. Heart disease is too. Knowing how to do CPR can save a life. That's where Fresno State's Be a Watchdog program comes in. Training may be done this semester, but anyone can learn CPR through the American Heart Association. Knowing CPR can help in those high-stress situations.
Very scary to jump in and help. But think of it as your family member. What would you want to have help in, So some help is better than no help at all. Don't just be a bystander. Be a doer and a helper.
Cute.
The Be a Watchdog program will return next semester.
Vintage Days is back in person this year, and there's lots of fun in store for those attending. This 3-day festival was created by students back in 1975 and quickly became a favorite spring tradition. They will have a carnival and kids zone, lots of crafts and food vendors, and an alumni favorite, a wine and beer garden. They are also having an outdoor movie night Friday at 8 p.m. in front of the Satellite Union.
I think it's just a good place to come hang out, see campus,
It's been getting nice outside, so enjoy the sun, get ready for summer, and also for students, it's like one fun last thing you can do before finals start.
Cute.
After having to cancel the past 2 years, the events team is excited to have it back in person. Vintage Days takes place at Fresno State's Maple Mall this Friday through Sunday.
Cute. Camera 2.
In fact, that's where Alexis Molina is right now.
She's one of the students in charge of putting Fresno State's Focus Vintage Days on. How's it going, Alexis?
Super. Thanks, guys. I'm right outside the east side of the Speech Arts building, and as you can see behind me, they are setting up for Vintage Days. There are a couple of stages being built right behind me, and I'm here with Wendy Ballard, who is a part of the Vintage Days committee. So, Wendy, it's been 2 years since we've had Vintage Days at Fresno State. What can people expect coming out? Yes,
Damn.
Alright, let's cut this by 30 seconds.
Start by Ryan. Back to Ryan.
Okay, so you mentioned the live entertainment. Can you tell me what we could expect to see? Yes.
Alright, that's the last question.
They were rap. Awesome, thank you so much. So if you want to come out to Vintage Days, it's going to be Friday through Sunday in the Maple Mall at Fresno State. Alexis Molina, Fresno State Focus.
Cute.
For seniors, the thought of life after college is scary, not knowing if you are fully prepared for the career choice. Seniors, if they feel prepared.
Stand by package. Take package.
With graduation around the corner, seniors are steps away from walking into their careers. It has the past 4 years prepared them for what's in store.
I think my major does help me get set up for the world after college. I was able to find a job within my field, working with kids with disabilities or...
According to the McGraw-Hill Future Workforce Survey, only 41% of students feel they are prepared for their careers. That's 4 out of every 10 college students.
I want to pursue a career in occupational therapy, and I think that my anatomy and physiology classes have helped me a lot with learning the
when we
body
go into this tab, what does
30 seconds
say we should be
Students
by
come
the
to
time
college
should
and
be
expect to be
at?
trained
Four,
in
seven,
career
five.
Over the years, we have seen an increase
All right.
from 39% to 41% in students fully prepared in their careers.
And all these classes will allow me to be more proficient in my career and continue my
Instead of fix it, this is just one.
while getting my
Super.
In terms of the AQs.
Cute.
Internships are also available for students who would like to gain more experience and more hands-on training.
Coming up on Fresno State
Put
Focus,
your hands up.
we talk about how you can show appreciation to teachers near you.
Plus, we meet the crew behind the scenes as they prepare to do this Fresno State Focus newscast on the air every week.
A little bit of sun and a little bit of cloud coverage. I'll tell you more about it right after the break.
Here in the valley, our colors are blue and our waves are red. Bulldog born and bulldog bred. Generations linked forever by traditions that have stood the test of time. Inside our stadiums, we are one. This is our valley, and this year, we're doing it for you.
At Fresno State, being bold means committing to something greater than yourself. It's learning by doing and nurturing leaders to advance our shared future.
Learning by doing.
It's using research to create a better life for those around us.
But they said
Healing
two.
those who need us most.
10,
These are our stories. Because at Fresno State, bold begins here.
Stand by Tyler. 3, 2, 1. Cue.
Fire season used to be the end of summer through fall. Now it's year-round. California had a historic dry, wet season, setting new records in back-to-back years for the amount of land burned. Last year, more than 1.5 million acres burned in California.
Specifically, we don't know what we're gonna be challenged with. Historically, the last 3 or 4 years, we've had some of the most active fires in California's history. And knowing that, it's all about preparation and being proactive versus being reactive.
You can protect your home by removing brush or anything that can fuel a wildfire. Last year, there were more than 8,800 fires in California.
Alright, camera 3, go ahead and move the monitor. Super.
Hello, I'm Noah Chavez with your focus on weather. Looking behind me, we got a beautiful shot of our brand new student union and the Collegian. Along with that, you can see in the sky there's a little bit of cloud coverage, but more importantly, you can see those satellite towers, which mean that's our news studio. How about that? Looking today at our regional map, we see that there's a lot of activity that's occurring right over the states of Kansas and Colorado. All that green is a lot of snow, and all that blue is a lot, correction, all that blue is a lot of snow, all that green is a lot of rain. Looking here at the state of California, we see that there's a lot of coastal air and a lot of coastal cloud moving over the state of California, but as things flow in Fresno, it's going to be avoiding us from right here. That's just how it happens here. Looking at today's highs, we got Fresno at 80, our little town to the west of us, Mendota, is also going to be at 80, along with 78 in Madera and 79 in Merced, relatively what to be expected in April. Looking at tonight's lows, we're looking all 40s all the way across the Central Valley. If you look at Shaver Lake, we're looking at 34. That's just 2 degrees above freezing. Air quality today it could be better. Looking at the northern parts of the Central Valley, we're looking crystal green, and then looking here, we got a not so crystal clear yellow, which means moderate air quality. At our extended outlook, we got 80 degrees for Fresno with partly cloudy, but no, this is not at all a mistake. We got sunny all the way down to the rest of the week. So if you're making your way out to Vintage Day, just make sure you enjoy some of the sunshine, enjoy some of the vendors, and have yourself a nice day. I'm Noah Chavez, and that was your focus on weather.
With COVID mandates loosening, couples are now taking time to tie the knot with friends and family in person. I personally am one of them. My wedding is on June 11th. While my fiance and I are busy getting ready, vendors are also making adjustments from the last 2 years of the pandemic.
We are gathered here.
Now that COVID restrictions have been lifted, 2022 has become the year of the wedding. According to the market research firm The Wedding Report, 2.5 million weddings will take place this year. This is the largest number of couples tying the knot since 1984. For local wedding vendors, this means a lot of clients will be asking for their services. Wedding decorator Felicity Uribe is happy so many people are looking for her services.
It makes my confidence go very up high. It makes me feel proud of what I do. I love being in the wedding industry. I love helping brides to make their day smoother. I love helping decorate. All of that is just part of me.
The feeling is mutual with other people in the wedding business. Wedding coordinators from Pretty and Posh understand that even though they want to help all weddings, they can only do so many.
You do get a lot of inquiries, and so responding to everybody does get difficult. So we definitely prioritize availability to make sure that we respond to those right away, and then anybody that we can't respond to book the date, we give recommendations just so that they can go with other folks that we like to work with, other coordinators and things like that.
Even during the pandemic, these vendors found ways to accommodate for not being able to have in-person consultations with their clients. Social media was a key thing for Pretty and Posh to communicate.
So just kind of keeping up our social media was really important. So making sure we're continually posting, reposting things, information, educating has always been a big part of our social media.
Thanks to wedding vendors constantly adjusting to the back and forth of the pandemic, couples can be ready for their big day in 2022. I know one thing, I'm ready for our big day, which is just around the corner. In Fresno, I'm Carl.
That's what I said. Masks are no longer required for mass transit or even flying, but that's not sitting well with everybody in the Bay Area. Bay Area rapid transit officials are scrambling to draft a proposal that would extend their masking policy. BART officials have found that despite the sudden shift in policy, riders are still concerned about protecting themselves from COVID-19.
It appears that the general sentiment among social media users is that wearing masks on public transportation is a good thing.
BART's board of directors is in charge of reviewing the code of conduct, which Allison explains is the set of rules that applies to Only the transit agency.
Our board has authority to change that code of conduct. That needs to be amended to put a mask mandate in place.
Q.
The board meets tomorrow to potentially finalize a decision on requiring masks. May 3rd is Teacher Appreciation Day. Here are some ways to say thank you to your favorite teachers.
Whether students are in the STEM lab or playing in PE, teachers around the world are shaping the brains of young students. Since 1980, the U.S. has recognized the first week of May as Teacher Appreciation Week. The Tuesday of that week is Teacher Appreciation Day. Here are some ideas to show your teachers just how much you appreciate them. This Teacher Appreciation Day, you could get your teacher something to hold their pencils in, or a homemade gift. Even a thank you card could make a teacher's day.
Honestly, I think the most rewarding gifts that you get from students are the ones that are homemade, the ones that they actually do themselves, sign themselves, misspell the words, and just give you a hug, honestly.
Teachers spend their own money for classroom supplies for their students, sometimes even going the extra mile to get their students a class pet or a garden. It's clear to see they don't do it for the money.
I think it's pretty obvious that teachers don't get paid enough and don't get enough recognition for all the time and extra work they put into their teaching. But getting to go into work every day and seeing students smiling and getting to see all of their hard work and how much they're progressing makes teaching a worthwhile profession, in my opinion.
You don't have to spend money to buy a fancy gift to show your teachers how much you appreciate them. The gifts they remember are the ones that come from the heart.
I have one from 31 years ago from a person that sent me a note just to thank me for, taking care of their child and teaching their child how to be a student and be a reader and be a writer and making them love school. And so I think those are the greatest gifts that I've ever gotten, are just thank yous.
In this reporter's humble opinion, I'm going to have to disagree with Mrs. Martin. The greatest gifts are the teachers themselves.
Aww.
From Dos Palos Elementary, Ryan Jones, Fresno State Focus.
We would like to take this moment to thank the teachers in our MCJ department for all the hard work they do to make Fresno State Focus possible.
If you are looking for a job this summer, the Summer Arts Program is hiring for multiple positions. This program runs from June all the way through the end of July. It's a great way to get some hands-on experience in different career areas. There are multiple positions to choose from, and a lot of creativity and fun to have while working.
Summer Arts is an incredible opportunity for students.
Oh, yeah. Okay. Just go to black. I'm doing it.
Active work during the summer. So
To apply, go to Hire Fresno State and in the search box type in Summer Arts. The deadline to apply is this Friday. Our Fresno State Focus crew has been working hard this semester to put together our weekly newscast. Anissa Martinez introduces you to some of those crew members who share about their experiences and plans for the future.
Everything you see in our weekly newscast would not be possible without the hardworking students that operate behind the scenes.
To look like you're having a
Throughout
good
the
time.
semester,
Right now, I'm
crew
thinking you're
members
not.
have gotten to work with
Thank you.
different equipment and take on various job roles to get the hands-on experience for their future careers.
I've got some good hands-on experience with the cameras, especially in the production booth. Never done audio before, so that was an interesting transition. Normally, I'm usually much more involved in post-production, so it's actually really nice to do a production.
In the process of putting together a newscast each week, our crew has had to overcome many obstacles that tested their skills and required them to think quickly.
So when something either breaks or isn't working, you kind of have to figure it out fast.
That doesn't ever happen.
Ways to put on a show.
While some students continue working behind the scenes in the future, some of them are using this experience to become well-rounded in all areas
It's like
of
everything
media
is towards your stick.
After I finished here at Fresno State, I do want to pursue my career in radio. I'm currently working at Q97.1, but I want to pursue it even more and reach out to other radio stations and work with other stations on being on-air talent.
As graduation is closely approaching, many crew seniors are beginning to make plans and connections that will set them up for success in their future careers.
15.
Without our crew, we wouldn't be able to put together the show that you get to see every week. Thank you to the entire crew. In front of the Speech Arts Building, Anissa Martinez, Fresno State Focus.
The Fresno State Focus crew still has openings for next semester. Any student with any major is welcome to be a part of this experiment. Coming up in sports, the Bulldogs welcome back some familiar faces. Football alumni return to Bulldog Stadium to check out the football team.
Plus, we'll talk about Fresno State women's tennis team's dominance, leading to their championship victory.
We are one Fresno State.
Awesome!
A university that celebrates the bold excellence of our students. Our Bulldogs become your child's teacher, your family's healthcare provider, your leader, your problem solver, your hero. A degree from Fresno State opens minds and opens doors. This is where bold begins.
Here in the valley, our colors are blue and our waves are red. Bulldog born and bulldog bred. Generations linked forever by traditions that have stood the test of time. Inside our stadiums, we are one. This is our valley, and this year, we're doing it for you.
One sports wish stand by Carl. Cue.
Welcome back. I'm Carl Cook with your focus on sports. It was a special day at Bulldog Stadium this past Saturday as the Bulldogs welcomed back over 100 alumni. One notable was Clovis High coach Tim Simmons. The Dogs started off the day by doing offensive, defensive, and blocking drills. The quarterbacks worked with the tight ends. Receivers passed them balls while they did routes. The linemen worked on blocking and getting off blocks. The scrimmage was mainly won by the defense, but Coach Tedford liked the balance he saw from both sides of the ball.
Really good about it. You never want something to be one-sided. You don't want something to dominate on the offenses, but roll through the defense. And I think we got a little bit of both today, which is really good to see. Very
Even though Tedford talked about how it was a balanced display of offense and defense, the Bulldogs' defense was the better of the two units during the scrimmage by grabbing interceptions and playing more aggressively throughout. Even starting quarterback Jake Hayner talked about how much the defense has improved, specifically the defensive line. But the defensive backs were the ones that stood out the most in the scrimmage. The Fresno State water polo team is heading to the NCAA tournament for the second time. The back-to-back Golden Coast Conference champions' first matchup will be against the defending national champs, USC. The Dogs found out who their quarterfinal opponent was during selection Monday earlier this week. This is the second time Fresno State will face USC this season.
And as you guys heard, only 3 teams have ever won a national championship in the women's game. You have USC, Stanford, and UCLA, and so it's the reason I'm here, and it's the reason a lot of these athletes are here, is to disrupt and at least make them scared a little bit. So hopefully we'll make it interesting.
Fresno State won both the regular season championship and tournament championship. The Dogs will be traveling to Ann Arbor, Michigan to take on USC May 6th. The Fresno State women's tennis team are now Mountain West regular season champions. The Bulldogs had a dominant season, going undefeated in Mountain West play. The Dogs also accumulated 20 wins on the season. The team is now preparing to battle it out in the women's Mountain West tournament, after being nationally ranked for the 10th week in a row.
I think anything can happen in these type of tournaments, and I think the team is ready to go. We had a great regular season, and looking forward to a great battle with every team.
Cue.
With the close of regular season play, multiple Dogs earned conference honors. Matilda Mangrini and Pang Jitico earned all Mountain West honors in both singles and doubles. Jitico was also selected as Mountain West Player of the Year.
I feel really honored to get this award, and I feel like this is really mean a lot to me because I represent Fresno State as a Bulldog, and as I get this award, it means a lot.
Pang Jitico was also honored as the ITA Universal Division I Player of the Week earlier this season. The Bulldogs will compete in the Mountain West Tournament tomorrow in Tucson, Arizona. The NFL Draft is upon us. The first round starts tomorrow, and many players are hoping to hear their names called this weekend. 8 teams have multiple first-round picks, but Fresno State players will have to wait until day 3 before coming off the board. The main talking points are who will go first and when will the first quarterback be taken.
Good about it, though. I mean, when you prepare, it's not really stressful. It's not a situation where you feel like you're under pressure. I mean, I just feel like I was doing what I was supposed to do.
Cute.
Now, even though analysts believe this is a weak quarterback draft class, many predict that 3 quarterbacks will be taken in the first round. A lot of lives will change this weekend, and we will see who goes where. Las Vegas was chosen as the host city back in 2020, but COVID had other plans. 2 years later, Vegas has it. Renovations are complete as the NFL draft experience will be the main attraction on the Strip.
The cool thing about the draft is that it's free. It's free and open to the public. So fans have the opportunity to come out here and be a part of it.
The NFL draft will be held at the heart of the Strip at the Lake Promenade Hotel and right behind the High Roller. The main draft theater will be where the commissioner announces all of the first-round draft picks. Today is National Babe Ruth Day, celebrating Major League Baseball's first slugger. Babe Ruth had a 22-year career full of wins and home runs. The Bambino had a career batting average of .342 and had 714 home runs. Over his 22 seasons, he won 7 World Series. And that is your focus on sports.
Cute, Tyler.
We students may have finals on the mind and graduation, but we need to remember Mom too. Mother's Day coming up next weekend. Christina Ledesma shares about what it means to be a mom.
Mother's Day is a day to give thanks to all the mother figures in your life. For moms, this day is special to be able to celebrate their journey in motherhood. We speak to a mother of 4 whose journey as a stay-at-home mom was not always easy.
Cook, clean the house as much as I could when I had the chance, and take care of my kids. I had 4 kids under the age of 10, like at one shot. So
we're dropping C20.
A challenge at times.
Whether you are a stay-at-home mom or a full-time working mom, the responsibility of raising a child is the same. We speak to another mother who has worked full-time since her 2 sons.
Working full-time working mom and then having to take care of their needs. It was a lot of long nights and a lot of stress, but like I said, it's always been rewarding. When I look back at it, it doesn't seem as bad, but at the time it was really stressful.
Motherhood is
so again, it's Ryan for C19, just the VO.
Who have careers. Although not each household is the same for everyone. Some may even grow up with other maternal figures. Violet Ledesma talks how being raised by her grandmother instead has affected her.
Kind of always felt separate from all my siblings, but my grandparents always, how do you say it? Gave me that extra love, and I got extra love from my aunts.
No matter the situation, shout out to all the women who have took on the role of motherhood.
Being a mother can be challenging. Trust me, I know. But it is also one of the best things. Noah, do you want to say anything? Say bye. In North Fresno, Christina Ledesma, Fresno State Focus.
Mother's Day is May 8th this year, next Sunday, so remember to make those special plans for the mother figures in your life.
Cute.
For art-loving lovers looking to get groovy, River Park has a spot for you.
All right, Cameron, so move to the 2
The Art Groove Gallery is a curation of local artists, giving them a place to put their work on display. Open every 3rd Thursday of the month. They have live music, snacks, and even a place for kids to channel their artistic sides. This is thanks to Melanie Glass, who gives these artists this platform. For more information on art hop and artists, you can go to beawesome.com.
Cool. Guys.
So, NFL draft's coming up. Who you got going number 1, buddy?
I have Trayvon Walker out of Georgia.
Yeah, I'm not who I would take, but you know, it looks like he's the clear-cut favorite to be the number 1, according to the betting odds of Vegas. Next week will be our final Fresno State Focus newscast of the semester.
We will take you behind the scenes to our radio and podcasting class to see how students are learning by doing.
Also, when was the last time you saw a lowrider, or even a car with a really big muffler? We learn more about the hobby of customizing cars.
Thank you for joining us.
We'll see you next week. And as always, go Dogs.
Music.
By 10 seconds.